Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. Now today I'm going to be giving you guys my next iteration or episode or whatever the hell you want to call it, edition of my weekly Q&A. What are we on, like 69 or something like that? What a great number, am I right? Anyways, let's get right into these questions. How about that? Cell earring fusion, I guess he means Patara, with Cell from Trunks' timeline and 18 golden SSJ God, SSJ3, Cell Juniors gave him energy. Cell mastered his golden SSJ God, SSJ4. Cell versus Whis and Vados fusion dance. Could you imagine this as like a featured question just to like troll people? I'll think about having that as a featured question. Oh my goodness. I think hands down, I mean, well, then you're saying Vados and Whis fusion. I think a golden, you get the golden form, Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan 4. I'm sorry, I don't think Whis and Vados could beat that. I really don't. If Cell could control that, I don't think there's any chance of Whis and Vados fusion beating that at all. Oh my goodness gracious, that's an absurd question. Wow. If it's the 60, I don't know if it's the 69th Q&A though. If that's 69th Q&A, I might just have that as a future question as a troll. Kind of like what Mike did with, what was it, like, can Golden Broly beat Bills or something? I don't know what he had. It was something really crazy, that's for sure. Hello, it's me, Broly. I'm the most overrated character in Dragon Ball Z history, and I'm an imbecile because I don't know any other words, so I'm gonna say the one guy's name throughout the movie. Well, you're not wrong there. Buhan versus Baby Vegeta. Well, it depends what Baby Vegeta you're talking about. If my memory served me correct, though, I believe that, and I have to go back and watch the Baby arc again. I'm pretty sure that the first form of Baby could still beat Buhan, power scaling wise, but I have to go back and look. So, any forms after the first form of Baby, though, definitely will be able to. But I think the first form still will be able to. I have to go back and watch that stuff again, though. Can you believe Frost was evil? It was hard to believe at first, but it's a cool story arc, I think. Well, I can't say story arc, but story twist, I suppose. Are you an asshole? I think so. Why didn't Vegito have a halo? Inconsistencies, because Vegeta had a halo when they fused. How did the Elder Kai know about Vegeta when Vegeta was dead? When the Elder Kai got out the sword. Okay, number one. You could say it's an inconsistency, or you could say that when they made Gogeta, that was an inconsistency and he wasn't supposed to have a halo. You know, it could go either way. Number two, though. How'd the Elder Kai know about Vegeta when Vegeta was dead when the Elder Kai got out of the Z-Sword? I mean, I don't really remember. I mean, he's the Elder Kai, so... He kind of has a good sense of everything. You know what I mean? That would be my best example. I mean, it's Dragon Ball, bro. You don't want to think about it too hard. Why is DBZ Abridged so funny? It's well written. How did Team 4 Star edit their videos so good? They have a video series showing how they edit it. Cell is the most interesting character in Dragon Ball Z because every time someone gets stronger, we all know Cell will be able to do that. I mean, any character can get stronger. Did you find it strange that the original Dragon Ball, that in the original Dragon Ball, the Dragon Balls landed in the places that they did? Because how did a Dragon Ball get into an underwater cave? I never really thought about it like that. It doesn't really bother me though, but I never really thought of it to that degree. Is it possible for Ginyu to switch bodies with Beerus, Whis, or even Shenron? I think it's plausible, but it's impossible to say if it's possible or not. But it's plausible. It's a thing that could happen probably, but we really don't know. And there's not really any evidence to suggest that we could or couldn't see that happening, you know, so I don't know. Do you think Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super is set on immortality in any respect? If not, is writing the reason for this thoughts? I don't think he cares about immortality anymore at all. Like, he hasn't cared about that since, you know, Frieza arc, really. And, you know, maybe early Cell arc, but it's been a very long time. Do you think Xenoverse 2 will be PS4 exclusive? I hope not, because I have an Xbox One. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. I have not heard any news on this. Thoughts? I don't see why it would be PS4 exclusive in any aspect. I don't see that happening. It's definitely going to be on PS4, Xbox One, and most likely PC again. If it was PS4 exclusive, I'd buy PS4 in the heartbeat. Absolutely. But it's not going to be. For Krillin's Kienzan, what limit do you think the move has? Could it cut through anything? Oh, I'm about to yawn again. Oh my god, I gotta get more sleep. Could it cut through anything, I guess he means. Anyone, possibly Beerus, if he could manage to hit it. I want to do a video on this because it's very interesting, because it's filler, but we saw in the filler that, you know, that his Destructo Disc, or, you know, Kienzan splashed off a cell, which was always cool. I think there is a limit to it, though. I don't think it could cut through absolutely anything, you know. But it's pretty interesting. You know, Goku cut through you know, Super Buu, Buu tanks. But it's weird because Buu's like, you know, he's a weird material. He's not like super durable. You know, on an outside level, you know, he can get cut through easily and stuff. He's been shown to tank and to have bullets pass through him. I don't know what's up with Buu. I guess he can like tighten his body up. But it's interesting to think about. That's for sure. What movie villain would you like to see would you like to see come in Dragon Ball Super with implementation of God Key in upcoming episodes? Possibly someone underused, excluding Golden Frieza and Beerus. I think Broly, obviously. Just kidding. You said movie villain, so I can't say Cell. Cooler would just be too obvious, I feel like. And he's already come back, like, you know, one other time, so I think that, Garlic Jr. is, you know, still out there. There's a lot of Bojack's dead. I guess they can get revived still. Screw it. Cooler would be honestly the best one for me, though. I just think Cooler would be awesome to see come back. Even though it'd be a little bit silly now that we already had Golden Frieza, it's not going to be as much of a surprise on what his forms are going to be or whatever, you know. We would kind of know what to expect. There's a lot of yawning going on. Oh my god. Do you plan on to import the Japanese Super Blu-rays or wait for the US release? I'm going to wait for a US release, but it's going to take a very long time. Go to loser.com. It's funny as hell. It's funny as hell. It is not porno or any kind of crap. Go to it right now. Maybe later, but not right now. I send a pic of you to my friend. She's 22. She thinks you're sexy and likes your beard. Well, that's awesome. Thanks. Your channel's crap. Okay. Alright, man. I don't disagree with you. Can Beerus be contained in Otherworld, or will he be in the living world and have a halo? I think since he's such, like, you know, a profound being in the universe, he would probably be able to move around like King Kai. You know, King Kai has his halo, he can move around on his planet. I think Beerus would be very similar to that. Maybe he'd have like a restrained power, I don't really know. It's interesting to think about, that's for sure. It really is interesting to think about. Is Dragon Ball Z a kid's show? Not really. It's kind of like Star Wars. It's kind of for, like, you know, it's just timeless. You should watch The Vampire Diaries. There are a lot of hot girls, and they're real hot, not anime crap. I have Google, so if I want to see hot girls, I can use Google. I know some specific sites to go to. Ever been to Universal Studios or in Orlando? Yeah, a long, long time ago I have. They had a Jurassic Park ride, which is cool. I never went on it, though, but I saw it. I think I was afraid of it. I was like 7 or something like that. I don't know. It was some bull crap like that. I was like 7. I was like 7 years old, or like, you know, 2nd grade or whatever. It was weird. I think I had the flu like the whole time I was in Florida. Did you hear there's a Star Wars anthology coming out in December? Are you looking forward to it? I mean, it sounds cool if that's true. I haven't heard of it, but I don't really, keep up to the news with Star Wars as much as someone like Geekdom or, Livestock Media. Why do you think Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT will never be released on Blu-ray? I just think that there's not enough of a demand for. I mean, I'd buy them in a heartbeat, but I don't think there's enough of a demand. Has Blackifist moved to Ireland? I think that's pretty clear at this point, isn't it? Will Geekdom ever have you on as icons of the Dragon Ball community? I mean, I don't really think I deserve to be on there, but if I'm on there, that's great. He's a very good friend of mine, so yeah. I don't know. I don't think I've done anything worth being an icon. I'm just another guy that does videos, I don't think I'm anything special. Is Majin Buu too childish as a villain? I think he's very childish, but that does have some of the appeal. Obviously, Fat Buu, turned good. Kid Buu, I like Super Buu as a villain a lot, actually. Kid Buu's just supposed to be really unstable, so I think it works. Would Funimation's DBZ Blu-rays look good on 4K TV? It's funny, I have a 4K TV and I've watched the Blu-rays. Even though they're not 4K, they look beautiful on my TV, so they do look good. That's for sure. Best water park you've ever been to? Honest to God, I have no idea. Will you ever buy Dragon boxes? Eventually. What is it about Dragon Ball YouTubing that made it such a craze? Could it ever become a thing with Star Wars too? I think Star Wars has a giant YouTube following. With Dragon Ball, it was kind of just Battle of Gods really, inflated the amount of YouTubers. With just Dragon Ball being revived, essentially, is what inflated so many people to do it more. And, to see the success of people like Quaman, Rhyme Style, a bunch of guys. There's a lot of success there that people want to capitalize on. Do you think there'll be another Dragon Ball Z movie? I think so, eventually. Maybe it'll be called Dragon Ball Super movie, I don't know. Why do you watch DBZ on the season Blu-rays? Don't the cropping and oversaturated colors bother you? The single DVDs would be better. A better option. I mean, I like the Blu-rays. I don't think the cropping matters. I like the way the colors have been enhanced. They're not oversaturated, really. It's the lighter parts are, they are sticking out more. The darker parts are more well darkened. I don't have a problem with it. I know what the series looks like. I can read the manga. I think it looks fine the way it is. I understand that they do crop out some stuff, but it doesn't bother me. I think it looks beautiful. I know plenty of people that share that same opinion with me, so. Let's see. Need some advice. Whenever I go to an anime convention, it's only to meet DBZ actors. I'm not into other animes besides Dragon Ball Z, so how can I get people to talk to me there when Dragon Ball Z is the only anime I'm into? Couldn't tell you, man. I really don't watch too many other animes either. You just stick with the Dragon Ball crowd and you'll be fine. Will you ever give the Ocean dub of DBZ a proper chance? I know some of it sounds cheesy, but it's not that bad when you give it a fair shot. I've watched a lot of the Ocean dub and it doesn't sound that good to me. I don't think the voice acting is that well done. And it's a huge problem. I didn't grow up with that. It sounds weird and it's not really well performed, so I don't really have a big wish to continue to watch it, so. Majub is equal to Kid Buu. I would say Majub and GT would be quite a bit more than Kid Buu. Actually, a lot more than Kid Buu. It's pretty clear, I think, that he is. Let's see here. If King Cold went into his final form, do you believe he'd rival the strength of Perfect Cell? Not Super Perfect Cell. That's interesting. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. I think if King Cold could have transformed, he would have. But maybe that's just me thinking it. SSJ to Goku Zenkai from 19's beating versus Semi-Perfect Cell. From Semi-Perfect Cell. Still Semi-Perfect Cell because I think, Goku would still be weaker than the androids, and I think Semi-Perfect Cell is pretty clearly at least, more than twice as strong as 17 and 18. So I would say that Cell would still win. I know there's going to be people that are going to completely misinterpret this. This would be an SSJ2 Goku right after, you know, let's just say recovering from 19. That's a lot weaker than the Goku that came out of the chamber. So I would probably say semi-perfect Cell. That's not, you know, it sounds weird, but SSJ Goku Namek Saga versus Android 17 and 18. Goku on Namek was a 3 million multiplied by 400. That would be the Super Saiyan 3 multiplier. So that would be, why can I not do this in my head? 400 times 3 million. I took 12. Why can I not figure this out? 12? This is embarrassing. Okay. Be like 1.2, like 120 million. No, I'm stupid. Now I'm realizing how stupid I am. It's 1.2 billion it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, they'd mop the floor with the androids. He would destroy the androids at that point. He'd even be on par with Perfect Cell. Well, maybe not. I don't know. He'd be pretty close to Perfect Cell, most likely. But then again, Perfect Cell could have been like 2 billion. Powers. Then you got numbers going in there though. That's all weird. What if instead of Kame, Piccolo somehow fused with Lord Slug against 17 and 8 and against Android 17 and Cell? I mean, he would be weaker because Kame specifically was fused with him because it made them the power that they once lost, the Nameless Namekian. So I don't think they'd win. But that's been it for the Q&A, guys. I know it's a little bit shorter, but I want to try to get these down to 15 minutes. And you're probably wondering why. Main reason is it kind of keeps, you know, I'm not going to, you know, sugarcoat it or anything. Or sugarcoat. Why am I saying sugarcoat it? To keep kind of, you know, consistent, you know, retention between you guys. You know, the longer you watch my videos, it helps in like search feeds and stuff. I'm just giving you the honest reason of why it is. So they'll probably be like 15 minutes, you know, maybe a little bit over, maybe a little bit less, you know. Same thing with playthroughs. I'm trying to keep them around there. Just to kind of keep people active watching a little bit longer. It'll help the channel grow over time. Because right now it's a little bit low. But other than that, hopefully you guys enjoy this video and hopefully understand, you know, why it should be a little bit shorter. But hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you later.